In the second session of real life example, let's have a look at a very simple example of converting miles to kilometers. So in this example, user will just input in miles and will convert it into kilometers. So what I have is I've got a function uh, which will ask an input um, in miles, and then I'm checking if the input given is a numeric number, and if it is, then I'll simply convert it into kilometers. Now the formula is kilometer equal to miles into 1.60934, and then I'm just printing the kilometer. I'm just using 5 decimal places and returning true. In case if it is not numeric, if the input entered is not numeric, then I'll ask the user to enter the input again. So this is the main line of code. So here it'll call the function mile to kilo, and if I got it true, so first time the user enters true, then it'll never enter the while statement. So let's run it, and let's see whether we get the desired result. So okay, I want to convert 10 miles into kilometers. So I got 6.0934. So let's say I don't want 5 decimal, I just want 2 decimal. So let's run it again. Run, and I get 10 again. So I have got answer in 2 decimal now, 16.09. So that sounds good. Now let's run it again, but this time let's give uh, a typo. So 1 O. I've written, instead of 0, I've written O, and then it'll say enter it again. Yeah. Um, I can say 10 come out. So I can say here print um, please enter the number again. Looks like a typo. Save it, and then let's try again. So 1 and O. Please enter the number again. Looks like a typo, and 1 0, and there you go. So that's our example. So that's miles to kilometers. So let's have a look at one more. Fibonacci sequence. Now, what is a Fibonacci sequence and how we are going to print it? So a Fibonacci sequence is a number. A sequence is in, so it starts with 0 and followed by 1, and after that it follows a particular pattern. That is, it adds the previous two numbers. So the third number is made up of the sum of the last two numbers. So 0 plus 1 is 1, and then 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2 plus 1 is 3, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So that's a Fibonacci sequence, and we want to print this using our program, and we want to control it. So we'll ask user to enter the nth term, that is how many numbers you want the sequence to be, and depending upon that the program will generate the Fibonacci sequence. So I'm taking an input here, and I'm storing it. So I'm asking how many terms does the user wants, and I'm converting into an integer and storing it in nth term. Because we know the first two sequence is going to be 0 and 1. So I'm assigning this n1, n2 is 0 and 1. Now if you can notice, I've purposely used this kind of assignment just to let you know that you can do this way as well. So I can also do n1 equal to 0, n2 equal to 1, but just I prefer assigning it n1 equal to 0, n2 equal to 1 rather than this. But this is how you can do it as well, one line code. So if you want to reduce on the number of lines of the code, you can do this. Also the count, I'm making it as 0, and I'll use the count later on. Um, Now, first of all, in the if statement, checking if the nth term inputted by user is, if it is 0 or less than 0, then I'm saying please enter a positive number. If it is 1, then I'm just printing n1, and that's it, job done. If it is more than 1, then I'm going in a while loop. I'm printing n1, and then I've got three variables here: the nth variable, the n1 and n2. So I'll do nth is equal to n1 plus n2. So I got so in the nth I've got my next number, and then I'll assign n1 n2 to n1, and then uh, and then increment the count. Yeah. So that way the while loop will keep on continuing till the counter is reached the value of 10, and then I'll get the nth term, and it'll get printed. So let's see, let's run this. So I want 10 term, and I got my answer, which is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, etc., etc. But as you can see, it is not in the horizontal, it has gone vertical. That's because I'm using print statement without any end of line. So um, we know the print syntax is this. So our end equal to, by default, is new line. So I instead of new line, I don't want it in new line, I want it in same line. So I can say end equal to a space. So let's save it and run it again. Again 10 sequence, and there you go. I got it in the desired format, if this is the format you wanted. And there you go. There you got your Fibonacci sequence. Um, and we kind of learned few things here. One is this one. Also, we reiterated how to use the print using end. We have done this in the input and print in session 3, but it's good to know what all different print statement you can use in different variations. So yeah, there you go. So we have seen example 3 Fibonacci sequence. We have seen kilometer converter miles to kilometer. Next is we are to our end of this course. So let's talk about certification. So we have discussed everything about the Python programmer entry level. So there are various different certification from entry level Python programming to certificate associate in Python programming to certified professional in Python programming. Let's have a look at the syllabus, and let's see if we covered. So we have seen this. We had been to this website in our second session, so pythoninstitute.org, and there are various different certification. Now, the Python certification is provided by many other course provider as well. So um, it's good to have some certification if you're a kid in school and in college, then maybe certification, you don't need a certification, you just need to understand and get the foundation of Python programming correct. In case you're applying for your first job and it's sometimes good to show certification. It definitely helps you in your CV. Also, if you are into some other programming and you want to get into Python, then it's always good to show certification. So let's have a look at the syllabus. S- So, so in the basic concept for the entry level certification, we have covered, uh, yeah, we have covered almost everything from here. So that was our first few chapters. In data types, yeah, we covered all the necessary data types required for this certification. Uh, we have done all the flows: if statement, while statement, for statement, in loops, range we have done. Um, I would say, yeah, just practice the else statement in the while and for loop, which we didn't cover. We just touched upon it. We didn't. So yeah, have a just expand your knowledge base on this one. It's very simple. Break and continue statement we have covered. Uh, in the data collection, so this part, we have done length, we have done append, insert, index, everything we have done. Uh, we have done various things about strings, and then in the collection object we have learned about tuple and difference between the list, tuple, set, and dictionary. And so that's good. And the last bit, functions. So yeah, we have learned about defining a function, creating a function, using the built-in function. Um, we have learned about scope. We have learned about converting objects into list by using the function, the built-in function. The two things which I think we didn't look at yet. So none is the none keyword is same as the null keyword in other languages like Java. So it is just basically means assigning a none value, so no value to to the variable. And recursion, I'll just show you one example of recursion. If you want to just learn more about recursion, it's the mindset how you want to use it. Can get slightly tricky, but I'll show you one example of both of this, and that's our end of this entry level um, session. So there you go. So Fibonacci sequence again using recursion. Yeah. Uh, So here I purposely, I mean, this is for the sake of just introducing none to you. So I'm assigning a value none um, in the nth term, and immediately I'm assigning a value 10. So the use of this is, there's no use of this, but just to give you the syntax how it is done. So just introduce that. Now, how does the recursion work in this programming? So I'm saying the nth term is 10, so I want 10 sequence of it, and the same logic as our previous. So if it is less than, if it is not positive, give an error. Now print Fibonacci sequence, and then in a for loop I'm calling my function uh, recur Fibo, yeah, recur Fibonacci sequence, and I'm passing the value I. Now I, so n term is 10 in this example, so value of I, it's a range, yeah, so it'll go from will do it from 0 to 9. So range will create a number from 0 to 9, and value of I will be 0 and then 1 and then 2, etc. till the 9. Yeah. So I'm calling the recurb fibo by passing 0. So uh, so it will go inside this function, and if the value of n is 0, then return n. So it'll come, and here it'll come to this for loop, and it'll keep going on um, in this definition. So let's say the value of n term, let's say the value of n I is 5 here, yeah. So it'll come inside this with the value of 5. It will go into the else statement, which is here. Here it is calling the function again. So this is recalling it itself with the value of 5 minus 1, 4. So I'm passing 4 here, and here I'm passing 3. So the same function is called by itself. So inside this function, this is getting called, and then this is getting called, and it'll keep on calling till all the values are returned, and then finally you get the you can you get the print statement. Yeah. So let's run it. uh, yep, you got the sequence. Now, to understand this problem, I would say you add some print statement here, and just try and find out how it is behaving, how it is called itself, and you'll just understand the whole recursive. But I think you got the idea, and that's it for this session. Thank you. I have provided the links in the description below for the Python and PyCharm download. I have also recommended 3 Python books to enhance your knowledge. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.